something?
Yeah.
I'm getting excited.
I'm getting excited. Everyone else is excited?
Danny, how are you feeling over there?
I'm feeling panicky right now.
Hey, where are we?
Oh, we're here.
We're here.
At Pittsburgh.
Hey.
Culture shock. I'm ready to experience a different culture, the difference from here and there.
Be immersed in a culture that I don't necessarily know very much and learn from it.
I'm just expecting to open up a little bit more. I've always kind of wondered how to help other people, how to get involved, and I feel by putting myself out there, I'll kind of open the door to myself. So when I come back, I can give even more here at home and in my own community.
I expect to tie together all the different topics that we've learned in the class so far to help service the McKees Rocks community and to create a fun experience for the class.
Back to learn more about just the East Coast in general and how the culture is like in McKees.
About the residents there and like how they live and how they face challenges such as poverty and other social issues.
I really like to learn more about the people there.
I expect to be able to go on an adventure and hopefully learn more about another area that I've never been to.
I expect to connect with the people there. I want to know more about them and hopefully I can build a bond with the inhabitants.
Yeah. I hope to learn more about Appalachian culture and its people, and I would like to come back as a more well-rounded, empathetic person.
Goodness, what will happen? We don't know.
So, I would say the one thing that I expect to get out of this trip is that I have a new perspective on what urban poverty is.
For my students, it's about giving them a different perspective, about them seeing how different people are in a way that live in McKees Rocks, but also how similar they are. I hope that they realize that giving back is something that we shouldn't be doing just for a week of our lives, but that we should try to somehow incorporate into our everyday lives.
I'm optimistic, really.
Stereotyped.
I see it as a diamond in the rough.
Ooh, that's good.
Misunderstood.
Diverse.
Unfamiliar. Unfamiliarity.
Closeness.
Desolate.
Intriguing.
Neglected.
Dirt pool. Or like, another word I would use is... I'm thinking of the word. Is apocalypse.
Yeah, it was accidental. I mean, in a lot of times we have fires in vacant properties. This one, unfortunately, was occupied, and there were people living there.
First off, it all begins with jobs. Years and years ago, when this town started, it came in with the railroad. And then the railroad built the steel and the iron industry here, and there was thousands of jobs.
I'm Meredith Taylor. I work with the McKees Rocks Community Development Corporation, where I started in 2011, and my title is a Community Resource Coordinator.
What is the biggest obstacle you're facing in your work within the community?
Communication. Getting communication out to people, getting the facts out for everybody to fully understand and educate about histories of projects. It's probably the biggest way out of anything dollars into something that's never going to happen. And so with a lot of projects we bring out, things like, oh, it'll never work. And then with people that have been around a long time and they may have tried something to tackle a problem and it didn't work, they're burnt out now. So if someone new comes in and suggests an idea, to try it, you kind of are beating that wall where they're telling you it's never going to work, it's never going to work. So you need a lot of positive people like Paul and Terrace and a lot of the people you met yesterday. Tracy, she's amazing. She's so high energy.
CDC is doing good work. I think we should trust their judgment.
How are you feeling about the trip so far?
I'm feeling great.
What is the one thing you've learned?
One thing that I've learned, well, similar to what I brought up in the discussion, I think we all had sort of an idea of what we were getting ourselves into when we were reading these articles, but really meeting the community members today and seeing the statistics come to life was pretty meaningful, and it really resonated with me, and it really, I think, sparked a fire within me, and I sincerely hope that we can hope to make some sort of a lasting change here before the weekends.
We didn't come in here with unrealistic expectations. We were going to come in and like transform something. And so we have to think about it as planting seeds, right? And it's something that the seeds that you plant, even when we meet with the students, you plant that and you might not see that for a few years. You might not see it for 10 years. You might not actually see it ever, but it's there, right?
I'm just going to say it. Gentrification is a double-edged sword. Of course, everybody and their mother is interested in real estate to make a quick buck, but there's a lot of people in both the public world, such as like city positions and CDCs like Hazelwood Initiative, and the community too, that realize like, hey, it's going to change. We need to keep abreast of it. Like, so it's actually really, I don't want to say easy to get people involved, but like everybody's got a stake in it because everybody needs to have a place to live.
Right.
I don't think everybody's motivated to change. It depends on where you're at in your life. A lot of people are all about their home or their family and not so much about the community.
Yeah, you're going to have people in the crowd that are going to be gloom and doom. But in general, especially in Hazelwood, and I think it's probably like a microcosm of just disadvantaged communities in general. Like, there's a huge unity there. Like, they've been through such hard times together that finally people are interested in their community again, and they're there to say like, hey, we're here. We're not going anywhere. Like, if we can help it. And so, yeah, there's always naysayers, but in general, there's a strong sense of like community participation.
I have never seen so many no trespassing signs than I have now seen in Mickey's Rocks. Bye-bye.
Attracting people to the area is what's going to be the most crucial part, but also the hardest part, because I don't know how you attract people to a place that isn't somewhere that's suitable for living without getting restaurants and parks and no trash all over the streets, when it's just like a cycle of that.
One thing I'm really trying to learn and accept is that I don't see the whole picture. Even the beliefs that I have very strongly myself, I have to challenge myself to say, even on my best day, I don't see 100% of it. None of us do.
Right.
And that's why it's critical to get as much viewpoints as you can and respect those and do, the hard work of challenging each other to come up with the best solution.
My name is Paul Crisby. I'm the borough president of the council, and also the owner of the store that you're sitting in.
Cool.
Actually, my wife's the owner. I don't even that's straight. It's called Carolina Corner Store, not Paul.
That's right.
Well, we lost the steel mills. Manufacturing real quick, but no one's going to do manufacturing. Think about it. If you were a multi-millionaire, would you build a plant and hire 100 people, or would you build a plant for 10 people working on a mason?
periods I am on Borough Council. And this year is a really historical year for us because we have 6 women out of 9 members. It's never happened on council. It's mainly a male-dominated area. We have a female borough manager. We have a female tax collector, first one ever, which was Tracy. We have a female solicitor. So when you come to our meetings and you sit at the table, where it used to be all men and maybe 2 or 3 women, it's now all women and 3 men.
So the trip was eye-opening, where we see a lot of people deprived of what the resources that they need. However, I feel like because we were here, we were able to understand it a lot more and at least give them a little hope that someone does care outside of their state at least.
One of my favorite parts of this trip was having 14 strangers come together with all their different personalities and all becoming close friends. And I liked that we could actually see the gravity of the poverty that we've read about. I see a lot of potential for the area.
My favorite part of the trip was seeing what we read in class translate to what we actually saw in person, seeing the urban poverty within McKees Rocks, but then also going to these places with the CDC and also these churches and seeing how hopeful the community is and saving it and making it a new kinds of city.
So I liked my experience on the trip so far. I thought it was really cool to come into the community that we've been studying for 5 weeks prior, basically see how things are done out here. It's definitely different from California, and I just think it's a great experience.
My favorite part of this trip is actually just going on it. I feel like we learn a lot from the people here and also learn from the group itself.
Well, I was pleasantly surprised how interesting Pittsburgh is.
I'm really happy that I took a chance and went on this trip. I think it was one of the best experiences of my life, mainly because of the connections that we were able to build here. And I'm really quite impressed with the progress that we made in it.
I would like to say that I'm very thankful on coming on this trip. Just because of the ups and downs that we've had, I've been able to make those connections and bond with everybody, including my classmates. I feel like they're my family now.
This was very enlightening. This is really big. I've really gotten close to my classmates and a lot of new doors have opened. Thank you.
Okay, I thought the work that we did was really beneficial. I thought the poverty in the area was actually a lot worse than I thought, but I felt like uplifted by the work that we did.
Alright, hi everyone. So for me, this trip was very just different, just because I've never been to the East Coast, and actually learning about McKees, not just through the articles and things like that, was really eye-opening and changed my perspective on a lot of things with the community, and also further my skills and development for community organizing. And I think the best part overall was just getting to know our classmates.
One of the things I really value about being here isn't just where we went to, meeting the people who actually work in this community, that live in this community, that grew up in this community, but also really getting along with my group mates and the professors. I really found that at the end of the day, we were prepared for this.
Going in, I didn't know what to expect. Seeing the buildings the way they were, I think it's a little worse than I expected, but there are a few people there that I think have potential to rebuild and grow a sense of community.
I thought it was really great to be able to make the connection with what we've been studying, the stories we've been hearing from our professor, and it was great to work with the community. It made me feel really good, but at the same time I leave here also feeling a little sad, leaving what we've been doing and just a big question mark on what's going to happen going forward. There's a lot of obstacles, and I just wonder what it's going to take and how long it's going to take.